This is a desert steppe covering vast valleys of the Saiga and Munkhtogtokh.B, surrounded by the Mongolian Altai Mountains and the valley of the Kh, Durgan, and Hirgas lakes. These valleys experience extreme climate conditions, often going below 40 degrees centigrade during the winters and going as high as 40 degrees centigrade in the summers. Therefore, only the fittest, most adaptable, endurable, and capable animals survive in these valleys of harsh weather conditions. The protagonist of our movie is the Mongolian Saiga antelope, who is able to survive brutal winters and stormy and windy spring conditions. The Mongolian Saiga is a rare spectacle and sprinter that has survived the Mongolian Gobi ecosystem for a long time. The sprinter of the desert steppe. Records have revealed 10 species of the Saiga antelope historically. Unfortunately, 9 of them are now extinct. Currently, only 1 remains. There are 2 subspecies of this spectacular animal in the world. The Saiga tederica inhabits an area of grassland of southeast Europe to the dry steppes of Central Asia, largely in Kazakh steppe and surrounding arid steppe of Aral Sea, and the Saiga tederica mongolica, which is found in western Mongolia. The Mongolian Saiga still inhabits its original range, having survived over the millennia. It is believed that Mongolian Saiga walked alongside historical species such as the woolly mammoth in the grassland steppe of the Great Lakes Depression of Mongolia. The survival of this ancient creature may be attributed to its unique behavioral characteristics and innate abilities, like the skill to quickly run away from danger and endure different extreme weather conditions. The Mongolian Saiga's main range is the Gobi Desert Steppe in the Great Lakes Depression, which runs through the valley between the Altai Mountains in the western region of Mongolia. Mongolian Saiga herds frequently move in search of good pastures, from the Saiga and the Gobi to the Hirgas Lake Valley, where there is diverse vegetation biotopes to their diets. The existence of such an endangered ancient species in western Mongolia's vast territory shows the region's ecological balance remains preserved. To date, there are more than 14,000 Mongolian Saiga individuals inhabiting in Sergelen-E, Gobi, Durgan, Khom steppes, and in the west of Hirgas lakes, in the territories of Gobi Altai, Kovd, Ofs, and Zalkan provinces. An adult male, female, and baby Saiga each has its own designated name in Mongolian. The Mongolian Saiga has a stooping body with a large head and a distinctive pendulent proboscis with large nostrils. Male Saigas have pale yellowish horns of 23 to 38 centimeters in length, while female Saigas do not have horns. The Saigas have sandy grey coats in summer, reddish-brown in autumn, and brownish pale grey in winter. The Saigas can run very fast, at an absolute speed of up to 90 kilometers per hour, making it the fastest animal in Mongolia. In fact, any other animal would be able to hardly catch up or overtake the Saigas, who run with sturdy muscular legs, with their heads pointing to the ground. It's thanks to their large nasal concha, or turbines in their nasal cavities, that allow the saiga to run at such impressive and momentarily speed-ups. In winter when running, large amounts of cold air are inhaled and rapidly get warmed by the many capillaries in the concha before reaching the lungs, and thus enough oxygen is supplied to the lungs, allowing the saiga to run at absolute speed during the extreme low temperature. The saigas can maintain a top speed of up to 90 km per hour within 5 to 10 minutes when they are trying to escape from predators such as wolves. If they are suddenly shined or chased after, the saigas can generate explosive speeds and escape right away, leaving only dust behind. The unusual style of fast running enables them to escape from predators and also evade untimely death. In their migration, the Mongolian saigas can reach and find better pastures in far distance where the most nutritional plants lie. The saigas generally eat plants like feather grasses, common grasses, mugworts, saltworts, xerophyte shrubs, as well as various herbs. However, there are slight changes in saigas' diets depending on seasons. Open water sources are scarce in the desert steppe. However, saigas stay hydrated several days during summertime if their food contains enough moisture. But when plants become dry, saigas must inevitably move to find water. However, open sources aren't easy to find in this desert habitat. As relieving as it may be to quench their thirst with fresh water, that is hard to access. Therefore, saigas can drink salt water from lakes and ponds, even stagnant puddles, which formed after the rain. When drinking, they tend to consume large amounts of water in a short time, moving away just after 1 or 3 minutes. Unfortunately, today, the natural springs and open waters that saigas use are occupied by humans and domestic animals. As soon as these other drinkers leave, the saigas will speedily run to the waters, often during the early mornings or late evenings. Winter is coming. In the desert steppe, snow serves as an important water source for the saiga during this season. The saiga's winter migration largely depends on snow thickness. Herds tend to move and stay in areas with thin snow cover where they can push away snow with their hooves and eat natural hay while having snow for daily water sources. The saigas are well aware of how to survive in winter by moving from place to place in search of water and pasture. As a nomadic species, they are able to overcome and survive the different types of natural phenomena, such as drought and heavy snowfall. Seasonal migration and movements of the saiga herds are often led by experienced individuals. Perhaps it helps the herd to find a good water source and pasture efficiently. Mating season starts in November, and by the late December, most herds would have been formed with single breeding males. Typically, a male saiga will gather 1 or 2 females, or even up to 9 females during their mating. This occurs throughout December and January, the coldest months in Mongolia, in which frost and coldness stimulates rutting and mating. Mating male individuals show specific morphological changes and behavior during the season. For instance, their neck skin becomes swollen and enlarged, and neck hairs become long and dark brown in color. Dark curls also appear under their eyes. These changes in their body seem to prevent injuries during fights for females. The parts beneath their noses also become swollen and enlarged. Glands above their eyes get enlarged and release sticky, strong-scented secretions. Sticky secretions are also released from their hooves and inguinal glands. Sexually mature males fiercely act towards females and push away baby saigas from their herds, sometimes even injuring them. There are many threats to the life of the saigas. Saigas face various threats, including drought, heavy snowfall, infectious disease, predators, poaching, habitat fragmentation, pasture competition with domestic animals, and many others. Spring is here. It is essential for Mongolian Saiga to make it through unpleasant spring days to see these pleasant summer days. Pregnant female Saigas have a gestation period of about 140 days in the typically stormy and windy days of spring, during which there is sparse vegetation across the range. However, some years bring pleasant weather conditions and they are able to find and eat newly grown plants throughout the season. It is now early June. This is the ground chosen and prepared by the pregnant female to give birth. Before giving birth, she scratches the ground with her hooves to make it comfortable for laying down. She becomes extremely cautious at this time. Females gather and give birth within 1 or 2 weeks to reduce the chance of predation on newborns. June is an especially important month for the Saigas, as many new members are born and the herd grows bigger. Baby Saiga are mostly born at night and dawn or early mornings. The newborns are fragile and thin. At birth, the baby Saiga look quite weak, weighing only 3 or 4 kilograms. However, they can stand on their legs soon after. Just 1 or 2 hours later, the newborns can walk away from their birth ground. In fact, they must, otherwise predators such as wolves, red foxes, Corsac foxes will find them by following the scent of their birth ground. These newborn calves are one of the most unusual, yet loveliest and cutest creatures in the world, with their wide-eyed curiosity of the world around them. Every action and behavior of the baby Saiga are lovely. Mother Saigas mostly breastfeed their babies at least 3 times a day, in early morning, around noon, and before sunset, but also throughout the rest of the day for 2 or 3 months after birth. Most Saigas usually give birth to 1 calf, though research has revealed up to 70% of Saigas producing twins in a pleasant year. Mongolian Saigas are kind animals. 2 mothers can keep their babies together and look after them jointly, which means the 2 baby Saigas that have grown up together can breastfeed from both mothers. Baby Saigas begin to eat plants just 2 or 3 days after they are born, and the amount they eat increases each day. By the 3rd or 4th day, the plants they eat could account for 10% of their diet, and once they reach 3 months old, That could amount to 100%. By the end of their first month, baby Saiga would spend most of their time grazing. Autumn has arrived. The world seems calm and relaxed with beautiful views around. The baby Saigas are now mostly the same size as their mothers, just 3 months after their birth. Right now, natural springs aren't yet frozen, and snow has not yet fallen. The Saigas eat the roots of juicy plants, which help hydrate them. The presence of these robust brown-furred herds add a spectacular feature to the view of the desert steppe. This is the life cycle of the wonderful Mongolian Saiga. At sunset, the landscape glows with a serene red and yellow. The Saiga herds calmly graze and move through open steppe, giving us a real, unique natural spectacle. May these unique natural spectacles and endless Mongolian grassland steppe, along with its endemic Saiga antelope, be preserved and inherited from generation to generation forever.